So we are here at Team'21 in Las Vegas, and I'm happy to have you here, Sherif.
Yeah.
Many of us know you for quite some time, but maybe you would like to introduce you a little bit. What are you doing now?
Hi everyone, I'm Sherif Mansour, product manager at Atlassian. I am currently working on one of Atlassian's new products from our Point A incubator, which is a new product framework. The product's called Atlas, and some of you may have known it. It used to be called Team Central, so we've recently renamed and gone into a public beta, which we announced today.
Yeah, that was really exciting, and I remember speaking about Team Central years ago already, and it is really astonishing to see what came out. And what was always on your mind is really putting the user and teams to the center. So what's the idea behind Atlas?
Yeah, the idea behind Atlas is to help teams be better communicators between teams. So many of you probably know Atlassian's tools help individual teams do their work. We don't have many tools that help communication between 2 or 3 teams. And this is communication on things like project status reporting or how they're aligned towards a common goal or objective. So that was the origin behind it. I think what drove it was seeing a lot of organizations grow and scale. And as you grow and scale, how does communication happen between teams? It's very messy. Lots of Slack channels or Microsoft Teams channels, lots of spreadsheets and PowerPoints to share what's the latest status from everyone. Everyone does it differently. Or maybe, I think something that used to think of a few years ago was the best way to solve this is get everyone on the same project management tool. Which sounds, right. Like, hey, if we can't have one team using Trello or Asana, another team using Jira software, another team using, the way we can help people communicate is get everyone on the same project management tool. And I think what we've learned over the years, it might be better to get people on a common vocabulary and let them choose the tool for their teams, but get them on a common language talking to each other. So
and a lot is about giving context, about the what, the how, the who, and
the why.
The why, of course, the why is the most important stuff. How does Atlas help people, getting things done or getting shit done, as developers say? How does Atlas help here?
So the idea here is that to help teams align at scale, we need a common vocabulary. And the way you might do that traditionally is send a spreadsheet around, and your common vocabulary, think about it, is probably the columns on the spreadsheet. Everyone can fill out this column, and a column might be, what are you doing? Another column might be, what's the latest status? Another column might be, if you get what I'm saying. And so what Atlas tries to do is make it easier for teams to answer the most common questions that everyone has. What are you doing? Now this is like the project. What are you, we're trying to work on a new capability to build this for our customers. Why are you doing it? Well, this is because it fits part of our mission, or it's part of this, goal that we're trying to reach, and all that kind of stuff. How is it going? What's the latest status? Oh, okay, this is our latest status, and when will it be done, and who's on the team? Oh, these are the people that are working on it. So if every team can broadcast that on a regular basis, they can stay where they're working and be aligned with other teams.
So the big promise in the keynote was that you won't need any more classical status meetings, what a lot of people promise. How are you going to manage that? Is this all about the new way of status reporting that's part of Atlas?
Exactly. Promise is, I don't know if it was a promise or a desire. I will say we have several hundred customers that use Atlas today. Some have told us they have killed their status meetings. Some have told us we have helped make the conversations in those status meetings more effective and a better use of everyone's time. And others have told us populating the content for those meetings to discuss is now much cheaper and easier for us to do because everyone's using the same system. And so the biggest thing we've done is we character constraint people's updates. So like a Twitter or a tweet, we tell you can only write 280 characters. Now, this is to help everyone in your company be a more effective communicator. How can I say more with less words? Once everyone shares their update all the time, then you can then have an effective conversation on how can we help unblock you? Instead of, I think, what happens today is we all get in a meeting together, wait for everyone to read their update, and you don't even know if anyone's listening. With Atlas, you know who's following your project. You know if they've read your latest update, and that kind of stuff.
So Atlas is actually populated by these status reports. Does it also pull data from other parts of the Atlassian cloud?
Yeah, so Atlas it doesn't pull data into it, but it can synchronize some data. So it has over 40 integrations, And what we want Atlas to do is integrate with the tools where your teams track their projects. So the number one integration it'll have very shortly is Jira software integration, which allows you to sync your epics in Jira software with Atlas. So that means you can say, I'm working on this epic, it's due next week, and you can sync those dates between the two systems. But equally, we have a customer that uses Asana and Atlas. They don't use any other Atlassian products. And Asana is where the team tracks all their detailed work, but Atlas is where they communicate with the rest of the company, because other people in the company use Monday.com, or another team uses Microsoft Project. But as long as they're all connected together and sharing each other's work, that's good. We're going to talk about goals. Do you want to talk about goals next?
Yeah, sure.
So when you get a lot of these teams sharing their status updates, it can feel like a lot. Now that works well for maybe a manager who owns 5 or 6 teams in one department. But if you use Google Maps or Apple Maps and you zoom out in a map, what happens? The fidelity of the map changes, right? So you go from the street names to the city names to the state names. So the relevance of information changes depending on where your altitude from the map. It's the same thing with Atlas. So you can use something like goals to say how all these detailed work is actually contributing to a broader objective. So you can zoom out and projects can be connected to goals. And managers can follow goals, or stakeholders or dependent teams. And goals are monthly updates. So projects are weekly updates, goals are monthly updates. So they're less frequent, so there's a little bit less noise. But it shows you how all the teams are contributing towards a combined outcome.
So in the future, might Atlas be a way to implement an OKR methodology into a company? Is this something that you have in mind?
Absolutely, yeah. So if you're using OKRs today, you can use the goals feature today. It's a very simple goals feature. And the reason it's simple is to help people get started with goals. Because we've heard from a lot of our customers, OKRs can be hard to adopt. The terminology, how you do scoring, if you want nesting OKRs, whatever. And Atlas will soon ship with a feature where you can turn your simple goals into OKR goals, which is really nice to help you graduate or help your teams grow into OKRs, trying to help people walk, then crawl, then run. So then you can model OKRs in Atlas as well.
Yeah, sounds great, and there is certainly more to come. But Atlas, as it is ready to be used today. How can I get hold of it?
Yeah, it is an open beta. It's free to use for unlimited users. Don't tell my legal department we said unlimited. For a lot of users, and you can add it if you're an Atlassian administrator from your cloud administration screen or the app switcher up the top left corner, and then you grant people access to it there as well.
Yeah, awesome. I highly recommend to take a look at Atlas. It looks really nice, and I'm really looking forward to using it actually in practice.
Thank you.
Well, we are more or less at the end of Team'22. What is your takeaway from these 2 days?
I think the highlight has absolutely been connection with the Atlassian family. The community, the partners, yourselves. Remote work is hard, it's challenging. It has its advantages, but also I think there are other problems we'll need to solve together, is how we connect with each other at scale. So absolutely, I think the highlight has been meeting partners, vendors, customers, and connecting again. So that's been so good.
Yeah, I cannot stress this more. I have the same feeling, and with many people that we are speaking here, it's been meeting in person again, and we will be connected online anyhow, and hopefully we will meet again at Team'23.
The conference where the number changes every year. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sherif.
Thank you for
coming.
Thank you.